Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
We started the original company, Intermix Media, in the summer of 1998. And the company morphed, as lots of companies do through the years, but we really started out initially as a entertainment media company that primarily was doing e-commerce. So we were primarily selling movies and music and games on the internet. And I know that doesn't sound revolutionary, but in 1998 or 1999, that was relatively cutting edge. And we launched the business under that brand and under that concept. We quickly realized after a year or two in that space, with the arrival of CD Now and Amazon and all the big e-commerce players, that we really couldn't compete with those big guys and make a big business out of it. The competition was just too tough and the margins in that business were too thin. So consequently, we started looking at other areas of the internet where we thought we could not only compete, but hopefully succeed and be a leader. And really the first area that we went into was the concept of viral content and user-generated content. And this was 2001, long before MySpace ever existed. But we started to generate greeting card sites, short animation sites, casual game sites, where the users were really interactive with the content and they would rank the game, or when I was done playing a game, it would say, who do you want to challenge? And I'd say, I want to challenge Evan. And Evan would get an email that says, Brett just got 800 at this game, Gold Miner. He doesn't think you can beat him. And then Evan would play that game, and it grew sort of that way. And the company, fortunately, got a lot of lift from that, because just about 2001, 2002, the advertising market started to come back on the internet. Consequently, we were able to grow that side of the business. We sold the e-commerce business off and focused only on growing content sites online, all the way up through the summer of 2003 when we launched a site called MySpace.
How many did you have at the time? How many sites?
We probably had about 50 sites at that time, and probably over the years had launched more like 150, which I always tell people is a good example of, in the best case scenario world, you have one idea and you do it and it works. But more likely in reality in business, you have 5 ideas, you're trying them, 4 of them don't work. You start doing the one that works, and then you think of other iterations of that idea and try to build those out. And really that's what we did all through that era, is trying to figure out, the internet is still obviously in its infancy, but especially back then was really the business model behind internet businesses were really in their infancy, and companies were obviously struggling with how to do it. That's the biggest reason why there was 80% of the internet companies went out of business through that window. Is not that everyone running internet companies is not smart, obviously. It's that the economic environment was changing very quickly, and it was pretty hard to figure out a model that basically brought in more money than it cost to run the business.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.